Hello everyone, this is Tenegma. I will be continuing my campaign of Evolution by North Star Games Digital Studios. Let's go straight to the campaign menu. I believe we left off at watering hole number 3. Let's see if I'm right. And I am correct. Number 3 is the desert. Survival is even more difficult when the watering hole runs dry. And for everyone who's not seen my previous videos, we are on brutal mode. If I make more mistakes on brutal mode, I'll be able to explain them and provide more commentary, is the logic behind that. Let's see here. Gadzooks, it's hot. You'll need these new traits to survive this barren landscape. So he's going to introduce some new traits. I'm not going to try and explain them like I had in my previous videos. I'm going to let him do his little dialogue box thing here, and then I'm going to explain them as they use them in the game. I think that's a more quick way to do that. Let's see here. So scavengers feast off the remains that carnivores leave. They receive 1 food after every carnivore attack. You'll see that happening in this game. Defensive herding uses population as a defense. Carnivores must have more population than the species to attack it. Horns doesn't stop a carnivore from attacking it, but it makes them pay afterwards. Each time a horned species is attacked, the attacking carnivore loses 1 population. Let's get past this desert environment using these new traits. Alright, what's important to note in this game of the campaign is that they've removed the other defensive traits that they'd previously introduced just to focus on these ones so we learn how to use them. So we are not going to be seeing Horning Call or Ambush or Climbing. I don't think we're going to be seeing Climbing. I think we are just going to be using the ones they just introduced so we can get used to playing with them. So let's see here. And then all of the food numbers are very low. The 6 is actually pretty high for what we're going to be working with. Since I have a long neck note, let's go for it. Let's just do this. I am last. This is important to note. Who is going first? The person to my left is going first. So we are going to have 3 turns before me. I threw in a -2, and I'm pretty sure everybody else's food cards look like 1s, 2s, and -1s and 2s, except for that outlier I had, which was the 6. So I'm assuming no food is going to be left by the time I get there. This buddy, the 3 species up there, 4 population total, and used all of his cards. That is wishful thinking. But it is just a regular, so here we go. Long neck. And then I'm going to save my 2 other cards. I'm pretty sure if I put anything else out there, it will die. So let's see. Oh. Alright, so my other concern, I was not paying attention to my buddy to the right. This looks like a carnivore. The body size is 2, population is 2. Whenever an AI increases their body size to 2, I become wary. So, I don't want him to eat mine, because these species at the top here across from me do not have any traits on them. So he will definitely try and prioritize eating my long neck. I could defend against that by just making my body size 2. He already had his turn, so I know that he can't have a bigger body size than that. So I guess I'll just save 1 card. Here we go, end turn. Yep, look at that. It is a carnivore. Feeding. No food. That's right, you eat him. Look at that. So it prioritized the species that had 2 traits. Also the player that had the most food, but the AI doesn't usually pay attention to that. It's paying attention to individual species, I believe, in their how important it thinks their traits are in their trait combination. We have a lot of carnivores. I'm going to make a carnivore. I'm 3rd, so I have some time to see if I could eat the player across from me and the player to my right, so let's see how this goes. I'm going to throw in a -3, since my poor little long neck here can eat. What on earth? Alright. So he still can't eat me. Maybe I can eat him. No, I can't. I have to make him a species. So the species across from me is probably a carnivore, would be my guess, since the body size of 2. If it ever makes one, just increases the body size, that's probably a carnivore. Safe bet. I want to make a new species. Neither of these species can eat my species. Over here, I'm pretty sure my long neck is safe. I'm going to... What do I want to do? I want to make a carnivore, but I can't... No, I can. Yeah, 2, 3. Cool, so I can automatically eat the buddy to my right. Let's do that. Zero, again. Good call on him. Okay, so what I want to do here is if I attack my opponent to the right, then he already has 3 species that are going to die because they haven't been fed. If I attack him, it's going to attack the population that hasn't been fed yet. He's already going to be losing those, that many population. He's going to be losing 3 population. It's not going to affect him if I attack him right now. They're going to die anyway. What I want to do is destroy the opponent across from me. They would otherwise survive, and that would actually have a significant impact on the board. And technically he can still eat, but I still wouldn't have been able to touch him, so. So. Depends on what I want to do. I could just throw out a 0 again, but I like horns. Yeah, we're doing 0. So when you decrease the amount of food in the watering hole, it makes it very difficult for... Oh, I'm not being timed. That's good. In multiplayer, you are timed on your turn. Alright. What was I saying? Oh, if you keep the watering hole amount to 0, then it makes it very difficult for your opponents who don't have any species. They have brand new species, and therefore usually not a lot of cards. The species that they had before they went extinct on the previous turn, they did have traits on them, so they did get cards for those who died. But it's still very difficult for them to start a new species, unless it's a carnivore, and carnivores are, like I had said, very expensive. If you already have a carnivore on the board, then you should already have, it's already established there, you've already spent cards on it, so it's hard for them to catch up. Unless, I mean, it's kind of almost a moot point to the person to my left here. He does have quite a few cards, but the person in front of me does not. So, we shall continue with that in mind. That's why I threw my food contribution was 0. As much as I want to expand out and be able to get more cards, maybe just focusing on my carnivore right now might be the best move. I don't think that my buddy to the right here can eat very much. And we don't have a lot of adaptive traits other than just body size. Wait, they already went. So they just increased their population back to 5, too. That's silly. My body size is 3. We're still not in danger from them, which is ridiculous. And since I think I can eat all of them, we might as well just max this out. I don't even care about this scavenging, because I'm just going to eat him. This is very silly. When you have a carnivore, and you are playing multiplayer, it's very alarming when you have a carnivore and you continuously change your traits that you have. Something you can do as a strategy if you really wanted to. It depends on how you want to use your cards. That is a carnivore to my left. Is if you had, say, ambush and then pack hunting, if you wanted to keep those 2 traits, but you had those 2 traits in your hand, then you can replace the pack hunting with the ambush and then the ambush with the pack hunting. So it looks like you're changing the traits on your card. especially if you go first, then everyone else just thinks you're getting new traits. And that can be very alarming and cause them to try to have a different defensive strategy. But it depends on how you want to play. If you want to mess with people's minds on multiplayer, I'm pretty sure there were only 6 people on multiplayer earlier today. But it's in the middle of, I believe today's Thursday, so it's in the middle of a work weekday. Maybe there'll be more later. Maybe I'm being too optimistic. Let's just start eating people. Oh, that's sad. Yeah, so the buddy to the left can eat me. Oh well. I'm still getting quite a bit of food, since I don't have to lose population on that. Oh, I can go again, because he's been fed. Haha! So not have to worry about my buddy to the left. My buddy to the right might try and make another carnivore again. Because we don't have fat tissue, and it hasn't been introduced yet, so I'm sorry if you don't know what fat tissue is, then I just don't like having just one species on the board. I never liked doing that, but since it's just the AI and I'm just trying to get more food at this point, I suppose I can give it horns and do this and just eat everyone, I guess. So this is the problem, is I don't have a lot of cards to just make a full thing over here, and another species to be defended by this monster on the left here. But I am going to eat said monster because he's a 4. And anyone trying to get up to this body size of 5 is going to have a hard time. Yeah, I'm just going to tag this carnivore for more food for now. Yeah, and his population's going to decrease on his own because he can't attack me. He has to attack everyone else. Oh, but I have to attack someone now. Let's do this. If I lose one population, then that means I can still attack him afterwards to lose one. Yeah, let's do that. Here, I'll explain. So we do this. I lose one population. Oh, no. That did not work out the way I wanted, but it's still fine. He still would have to lose one. Forgot I would lose one population doing that, so. It's just okay. I mean, really, horns are a strong deterrent, and that's the point here. Is if they're gonna lose a population each time they attack you, then we're gonna do this, and then they did go first. Yep. So I am last. This is 6 and 4. I still think that's wishful thinking on their part. And what round is it? So next round will be the last round. I am still intent on getting a second species on the board. In order to do that, I'm going to have to save cards. It's not ideal. I mean, it is ideal. I don't know how to... It's a good strategy. I'm not sure I should say it's not ideal, but... I don't like saving cards if I can use them, but... Saving cards. You can always save cards. People sometimes ignore that fact. They want to use all of their cards at once, and you can, in fact, save cards if you must. And I will eat this monster over here and get 5. Food. That's right. Yeah, saving cards is a legit strategy. It's not what I want to do. That's what I meant by not ideal. It's not how I prefer to play. I don't want to adapt in this way, but that's kind of the point of the game. You have to adapt to where you are. Okay, so one thing you can do. So, defensive herding. See how this species across from me has a population of 6? It can't be attacked at all if they switch from horns to defensive herding. Because it has a population of 6, there's no way they can have a population, or the carnivore can't have a population that is higher than 6. That's the max. So it can never be attacked. There are other but offensive traits that you can get to negate defensive herding, but at the moment they haven't been introduced. So defensive herding is kind of the ultimate defense. The person across from me should actually switch to defensive herding. Their species will be permanently safe, which is nice. My body size is 6. No one can attack me though, so either one. It's better to do it with the card though. Let's see here. What am I doing? I mean, yeah, I want to do that, but I want to do this. What if I just... It all comes down to math. Do I want to play the... They go after me. Okay. Yeah, okay. That's convenient. So my buddy to the left decided not to max out his body size, so I can still eat him. Oh, what did I don't remember what food card I picked. Whatever. I'm just gonna do it. Maybe he will eat me, though. No, what I did didn't even matter. It's very boring. I still get a card, though. That was a mistake on my part. I just should not have done that. I was not paying attention to the food card I put in the board. In the middle. I just probably still won. Such a sad game. I was not paying attention to what food card I played. Yeah, I got 31, I won. Woohoo! I don't get any discoveries. Well, I've discovered everything. Right. Continue. Alright, that ends this video. I will be moving on to the next watering hole in just a sec. Here we go. As a preview, Minimus Rex. Behold, the master of the desert. Is it a baboon? Is that a baboon? Maybe it's not. I'll go look it up. Here we go.